If you haven't heard about the phone call inconsistencies from the alleged Flight 77 on 9/11, here's your chance. The point of this video isn't to prove that 9/11 was an inside job, although we thoroughly believe it was. The point is to show that the official government story surrounding the alleged Flight 77 phone calls is full of misinformation and lies. Let's begin with the alleged deceased. This is Barbara Olson. She was a conservative pundit for Fox News and CNN. Allegedly, she was aboard Flight 77 on 9/11 and died in the alleged crash. Barbara Olson was married to Ted Olson. Ted Olson was Solicitor General of the United States during the 9/11 event and was appointed by Bush on February 14, 2001. Ted Olson is one of the most prominent lawyers in the United States. Some of his accomplishments include representing Ronald Reagan in the Iran-Contra scandal, defending Israeli spy Jonathan Pollard, and defending George Bush in the Supreme Court case Bush v. Gore, which effectively won Bush the presidency. Ted Olson claims he spoke to his wife Barbara while she was allegedly aboard Flight 77 on 9/11. In an FBI interview conducted with Ted Olson on the day of 9/11, Ted claimed that he wasn't sure if Barbara called him using her cell phone or one of the plane's phones, i.e. seatback phones. The very next day, Ted told CNN that Barbara called him twice on a cell phone. In less than 24 hours, Ted somehow managed to piece together enough information, allegedly on his own, to change the statement he originally made to FBI investigators. Several months later, Ted had an interview with Britain's largest newspaper, the Daily Telegraph. Amazingly, during the interview, Olson testified that Barbara didn't use her cell phone at all, but instead was using one of the phones in the passenger seats, i.e. a seatback phone. This article can be searched on the Telegraph website and is located in its online archives. So, we have three separate testimonies from Ted Olson himself, with each one contradicting the other. Keep in mind that Ted is one of the best trial lawyers in America. He stated these events as facts, when he had the option to say he wasn't sure what happened and thereby eliminate any controversy. But he didn't take that approach. Ted Olson changed his story 3 times on purpose. After Ted settled on his seatback phone theory, American Airlines released its own press statement. To Ted's astonishment, they said there were no seatback phones in Flight 77, and that passengers made calls using their cell phones during the alleged terrorist attack. The most damning evidence against Ted Olson came in 2006 at the trial of Zacarias Moussaoui. At the trial, the prosecution produced a flash presentation which contained the alleged phone calls from the alleged Flight 77 on 9/11. According to the FBI, they could only verify one call that connected from the alleged Flight 77 on 9/11. That call was allegedly from a passenger named Renee May and was to her parents. They also stated that Barbara Olson tried to call the Department of Justice, but the call did not connect and lasted 0 seconds, as seen in this government illustration. In essence, the FBI is calling Ted Olson a liar. In conclusion, if you still accept the official government 9/11 story, you must also recognize that Ted Olson is lying based on government testimony and based on his own false and contradictory statements. Ted Olson's dishonest testimony was presented as truth and fact in the 9/11 Commission report. The 9/11 Commission report is a massive cover-up job built upon lies like those from Ted Olson. We must push hard for a new 9/11 investigation. We must question everything our government does. We must teach others to question the government. 9/11 was the tip of the iceberg.